See your streams on. Do you guys see the screen? Yo, 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 yo. Yo, type in the chat if you guys can hear me. Let me know, let me know, let me know. Wednesday night. Hold up, hold up.
Website.
Alright, so let me check the chat. What's this guy doing? Gold, probably have to wait till like end of the week reversals. Probably gonna be end of the week reversals. It's dropped all week. Thursday, Friday reversals. There was some news today. It dropped probably because of this news here. A couple hours ago, U.S. federal court blocks President Trump's Liberation Day tariffs from taking effect. The big drop happened right after that. Pretty quick, pretty fast drop. That's probably why it dropped right there. This, who knows? Man, yeah, this came out a couple hours ago. Should look into this maybe. Who knows with Donald Trump, you know, it's always one thing after another. This one week, that one day. Who knows how this goes? Maybe let's see what the comments are saying on this post. Unelected judges run the country now. Let's see, Grok. Someone asked Grok, explain how this will affect crypto market short term. Good question. Look at that. They got the right question for us. So yeah, the U.S. federal court's decision to block Trump's liberation tariffs on May 28th may stabilize markets by reducing trade uncertainty. So there's less trade uncertainty. That's why gold dropped. Gold had a drop after this. Potentially boosting crypto as a risk asset. However, a stronger US dollar. Okay, yeah. Stocks went up. Stocks probably go up. Let me read this. This is Grok's explanation. Someone asked Grok. I like to look at the comments when I see stuff like this. So yeah, like this, because Trump's tariffs caused a lot of uncertainty. We saw what happened with gold this year. Trump's tariffs caused a lot of uncertainty this, you know, coming into 2025. This U.S. federal court's blocking this maybe eases off some of that tension, I would say. You can even see here. I kind of thought the same things, and you see Bitcoin is actually kind of stabilizing. Kind of look at the price of Bitcoin. It's interesting. Someone asked a crypto question for that, yeah. Bitcoin's price has been kind of just like the last couple of days up here, kind of sideways, stabilizing a bit. Ethereum's been seeing good movement. Yeah, this could be this could give a stronger dollar overall. Comes in this brings less uncertainty, you know, blocking those tariffs from taking effect. Analysts predict mixed outcomes. Some see bullish recovery. Others expect continued fluctuations. The impact remains unclear. Just tell us it's bullish, you know. Interesting. Yeah, something might, like, this just happened. So the courts are saving us from Trump's recession. Tariffs back to zero. We live in a simulation. Yeah, like, who knows? Like, let's see how Trump responds. Like, what the respond and all this is. I don't know if he's come out or said anything yet. Truth Social, but interesting. This happened at 7:13 p.m. tonight, or earlier today. I mean, gold down, eases off some uncertainty. Now, on a technical point, still we have maybe an end of the week reversal. End of the week reversal coming at 30. You can watch 32.50 for New York sessions. That's where we're usually seeing the buys, is New York. Like, even this morning there was a little bit of buys, but it didn't stick. Should have got out when I could this morning. But only place I'm really seeing the buys that are sticking a bit is more like in New York hours, coming into New York hours. So maybe keep an eye on 32.50, 32.25 coming into the New York hours for the remainder of the week. See where it is coming into New York. That's where I'm this week. This week so far, that's only kind of where the buys have been, was like coming into New York hours, So maybe around then, if you're looking for buys to finish off the week, keep an eye on 32.50 or 32.25 area around New York session. See where the market is coming into New York. But yeah, there's this hit the market. That's maybe going to ease some things off depending on how that goes moving forward. Apparently now tariffs are blocked from taking effect. So we're gonna see. I want to see how. Tonight I'm gonna probably just look into this. FTX creditors distributing. Are you guys hear about that? Michael Saylor said when Wall Street. I don't know if you guys saw this too. Apparently there's 5 billion in stable coins being credited back to the FTX recovery. This Friday? This has been ongoing, the FTX recovery situation. Apparently this Friday, FTX is distributing over 5 billion in stable coins to creditors. That's nearly 2% of all stable coins hitting the market at once. This money will flow into Bitcoin and altcoins. Apparently Friday. Is this happening Friday? FTX creditors finally getting paid. Inject it straight into my bag, sir. Fresh liquidity. Some people might just cash out. It might be fucking. Imagine you've been wanting to buy Bitcoin, and if you knew you were getting paid out eventually, you would have just had to take out a loan, and the interest of the loan, Bitcoin would have outperformed the interest of the loan. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, smiley face. Not that I'm doing that. Not that I do that. This is interesting. Friday. It's Friday, 2 days. Hopefully, all that goes into like altcoins. Put it in dog with hat. Inject that into dog with hat. Send it to $10, $8. So there's actually a lot of news that's been. You can, if you go on crypto Twitter and you kind of dissect the last 48 hours, you can find a lot of news. This is for Friday. Apparently Friday. Yeah, let's see. Any dates and stuff on here? Or does it say Friday? Or does it say the date? How do they know it says Friday? USD in millions. Is there a date on here? Am I missing the date? I don't see a date. Alright, it's Friday. That would be huge if this, because it's hitting the stablecoin. It's all hitting in stablecoin, so people could sell like this is 5 billion. This 5 billion stablecoin unlock is a real wild card. Expect a burst of volatility if fresh liquidity hits the market. Some creditors might cash out, putting short-term pressure on Bitcoin and alts. But history says a decent chunk will rotate right back into majors seeking upside. If recent ETF inflows and strong institutional bid for Bitcoin persists, the king could absorb most flows. But watch for opportunity rotations into majors like ETH, Solana. For those launching narrative upgrades, sentiment is mixed. I wonder how it's gonna, yeah, see, so this is Friday. Does it stay more in the stable coin? What do, you know, it's $5 billion. Does it rotate? Do people just rotate it into Bitcoin or Solana or ETH or alts, memes? Who knows? Let's see. Apparently that's Friday. Look into that. Out for gold. 4 hour, you want to watch, like I said, watch some levels going into New York. Maybe for buys tomorrow, so Thursday morning, Friday morning. Thursday morning, Friday morning, potentially reversals. We'll see. Yeah, that's some big news. That's 2% of all stable coins hitting the market at once. So hopefully they they put all that in Solana, ETH. Might be something. Do some research on that. We got 48 hours till Friday. Let's hope that's let's hope it goes the way we want it to. FTX, the biggest. It's a big airdrop happening. Look at that. This guy said still harder, bro. People might say thank you and back in my bank account. Could cause, it could be both sides. Like it could be both sides where it's like could cause some sell pressure into things. I'm sure there's people who are FOMOing though. Like if there's people that are getting money back, creditors that are getting money back, they could be FOMOing, like looking at these prices, like wanting to get in at these prices. Like, damn, this thing's gonna go up. All the adoption happening. Maybe this triggers something for the market. There's some XRP news I saw. So no, not only that, I went over. I saw this. Anyone see this news? There's a lot of news today. We probably won't even be able to cover it all. I'm just covering a few updates. I put a trading view chart in the chat for gold. We'll be on in the morning, 9 a.m. Yeah, President Trump files appeal after federal courts. I'm seeing right now, actually. See, that's why I was saying, who knows how Trump's going to respond, like what's going to happen, what happens tomorrow, what happens next week. It's like, I'm kind of used to in the last couple of months one thing being said and then another thing being said and this happening and then that happening, like Uno card reversal. And like, yeah, the last couple of months were pretty crazy, but everyone's gonna get used to you know, let's see if there's anything. The last couple of months have been crazy, but you know, the market, people will get used to Trump and how he over time, people get used to him over time. They have a plant-based section if you scroll down or search it. I don't know if any of you guys saw this. Anyone? I don't know if any of you guys know either. Does anybody know about Libra? Does anyone know about that? The coin that Facebook tried to, they tried, like that Facebook Libra coin. Anyone remember that? Anyone been around that long? I mean, that's some years ago, like 2020, 2021. But like, I don't know if anyone remembers this. Some of you guys maybe are new to crypto and probably weren't around for that timeline when Facebook tried to create a currency, cryptocurrency coin, Libra coin, Meta. I don't know if any of you guys remember that. I do. It was pretty hyped, but it wasn't successful because of policy and regulation. Because of policy and regulation, it wasn't successful. But now, so this, very bullish for ETH. Very bullish for ETH. We'll see how this goes. Apparently, look for this. Like, that's what I saw this today. Just another useless altcoin. That could be something. Even just Ethereum. Ethereum activity is rotating. It's picking back up. Even though like last couple months, it's been like, maybe if you've been holding Ethereum, I mean, you felt it a couple months ago. If you've been holding ETH, you know. Yeah, like if you've been holding Ethereum this year, you know, you felt it. And it depends on your strategy, your approach, how you navigated the market, how you DCA'd as well. I bought a big amount of Ethereum down here, a big amount down at $1,700, $1,500, big amount. Let's see what we got. Depends on how you navigated through the market this year. But anyone who like sold down here or got out down here probably regret, because this thing's up. Ethereum's up now. This is the highest we've been this month. Almost about to hit 2,800 bucks. Let's go. Up 102%. And if you really think about it, guys, look at the chart on ETH. So if you feel like you missed out on Bitcoin, don't fade Ethereum. I mean, there's no missing out on Bitcoin if you have a long-term vision. Like if you're like, I'm holding this thing and buying it, and you can afford to buy more and get to a certain amount. If you can get to 1 Bitcoin in your life, 2 in your life, X amount, there's a cost to get there. Like buying a house. A house costs X amount to get to. You don't buy a house at once though, typically, right? So it might cost you, like me, it didn't cost me $100K to buy 1 Bitcoin. Like all the Bitcoins I have, I've bought them spread out throughout different prices. Everything's in profit. All my BTC is in profit at this point, right? Some of them have costed different prices, maybe an average price, right? I was pretty fucking aggressive in here. Been repping the rewards. Now look at ETH. ETH is exploding right now. Breaking out of what we call a bullish flag. Breaking out of this bullish flag on Ethereum. Probably on the way to 3,000. Why do I say that? Because I'll show you a few more things on why. And there's been big news in the last 48 hours. Last 48 hours there's been a lot of news. If you look at May, let's go to the daily. May's gone up a lot, but honestly, most of the up has happened in like a few days. Literally, most of the up movement on Ethereum has literally been, look at these 3 days right here. 1, 2, 3. That's when I was May 8th to literally like May 12th. That's when I was in Mexico. Literally that. And maybe ending the month off. I think it'll finish it looks like it's gonna finish the month off strong. But when crypto's bullish, you won't spend the entire month going up. Price can stabilize, fluctuate, accumulate, reaccumulate, but most bullish days in a month will literally be a few days. So missing the reason I'm how I am, and yeah, I'm pretty all in on things all the time at different times. It's because even just missing a few days in the market can be significant gains. Especially when the market's bullish. Even just missing like a few days can be significant. Because if you look at those few days, the price moved like 90%. Or well, those 2 days were 43%. Just those few days of movement. The whole month, the months moved up a lot. We had a big month for ETH. Let's look at the monthly. Monthly's bullish. There's a lot of news though circulating the last couple of hours. Not couple of hours, last 2 days. There's looks like activity on the Ethereum chain, stable, both stable, and everything else. The whole ecosystem it has been rising, but it hasn't even been rising now. Like, it started back, like all this is familiar to me, because that, like, even when price was going down, we were starting to see activity pick up for the Ethereum network. Like, different days we were talking about back in like end of April. This was on April 27th. So more and more that's been happening. Like, we started to pick up on different signals and indicators that were showing us activity on Ethereum is picking up. It started when I saw BlackRock ETFs bought Ethereum on April 26th. I even wrote possible signs for ETH. We went pretty heavy on Ethereum, not gonna lie, at like down here, down all in April. We got our last bit at the end, 1700s. Still holding, just holding till the end of the year. I got where I am by holding. So, but even this, guys, like, this type of news is picking back up again for ETH. Like, for instance, you're seeing a lot of positive ETH. Like, look, Ethereum ranks number 33 most valuable asset on the planet now. Number 33 in the world. Pretty it's catching up to Bank of America. But for us, like, anyone who's been, and anyone in my inner circle, especially those of you guys in my inner circle, like back in March or April, we started looking for signs of Ethereum, or not started, but every day I'm on Ethereum and Bitcoin looking at the news and updates. That was one of the signs. And then we started to look at things like this, other indicators like this, where activity was picking back up. And then the Ethereum upgrade happened on May 7th. We knew that coming into May. So a bullish May was, you know, expected, very prominent thing that if you look back, the signs were there. And there's more signs that even elevated through that too, right? So that's why, like, you kind of get here just doing what I do every day, like, we keeping up with things. Sometimes even a couple missed days can be significant. But yeah, that was when BlackRock ETFs started accumulating, and there was signs for Ethereum. I've been talking about Ethereum going up since it was at $1,500, $1,600, $1,700. I'm not talking about it all now since it's up. Like, I'm not sitting here saying because it's up. Like, I was giving you guys a lot of indicators the last 2 weeks of April saying, like, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention, right? A lot of different indicators, a lot of calls. We did a good amount of calls. You can see here from Sunday. So it was Saturday and Sunday that week. So April 26th, April 27th. We've been steady paying attention to this. Call it follow the money. I mean, I noticed BlackRock started accumulating a large amount. Like, it went quiet for a bit. And then April 24th, April 25th. So I noticed that. So April 26th, April 27th, I was super bullish on Ethereum. And I was telling you guys that. Those signals were there, and now we're getting even more signals. Like, the signals were there behind us already. Now we're even getting more signals, right? Moving forward. We didn't need to even know all that, right? So when price is down, like, you want to make money in a bull market, you're going to have to wait for some good entries. And you're going to have to wait for price to be down quite a bit. But you're going to have to be keeping up with news and looking past that. Like, being able to look past the layers of price dropping, bleeding out, and follow the money. It's number 2 for a reason. It's Matt, 1 + 1 = 2. It's number 2 for a reason, right? And I was saying that. So now we're gonna see more people catch on to, oh my gosh, Ethereum, it's been great the whole time. Even though some people think it's useless. But there's a utility for Ethereum called staking as well. You can make things on it. But what about staking, right? Some of you guys have never used traditional finance. Some of you guys have probably never used dividends, something that pays you in dividends, right? I don't know if you guys know what dividends for stocks are. Where certain indexes and funds you can hold that for holding, you'll get what's called dividends paid out to you. Kind of like rewards, right? So if the longer you hold ETH, the more rewards you get, the more you reward yourself. And there's people who understand that. But there's people who do that at big levels, right? There's people who stake large amounts at certain prices too. Something people tend to forget about, like the new age of traditional finance, staking, dividends. You have dividends, stocks, you have staking in crypto. But my mom stakes Ethereum and Polkadot, for instance, and it kind of blew her mind when she learned about it. My mom's staking Ethereum and Polkadot before she even knew what dividends and for stocks were. That shows you the power of decentralization, that you can literally do it like that. Cool stuff, cool beans though today. Something's coming, like I've been saying. I don't even know what this lady said, because there's just so much news right now that I gotta go watch some of the parts where some of these people speak. I don't want to watch the whole thing. It's like 9 hours.
To the attention of the American people and the world. President Trump supports the bill, and he has a team in the White House working on digital asset issues, everything from stablecoin to market structure to the Bitcoin strategic reserve. And they will probably roll out in that order. The Senate Banking Committee has passed the stablecoin bill out of committee. We're getting close to being ready to have it on the floor. We've worked for untold hours with the minority party to satisfy them, and we should be voting on it the week we get back from this break. Then we'll do market structure, and then we'll do the Bitcoin strategic reserve. And at that time, we'll be calling on you to help members of Congress in your states understand the importance. It's so important strategically to our country. Other countries are moving in the direction of establishing strategic Bitcoin reserves. The United States needs to lead in this area.
Well, you heard it from her. She's really pushing for it because you heard what she said, how other countries are moving in that direction. So it's like, if you're, I understand things from a business level. If you're a business, you have competition in your business, right? So if you're a country, you know, your countries are businesses, right? So it's like the people who act quicker are the people who are ahead faster, right? It's like anyone who wants to move on this 4 to 8 years from now will be behind, right? So that's why they say that. That's why they talk like they want U.S. to be in front of this. Because think about it, you can't really control, like with Bitcoin, this decentralization. It's fast, right? It's liquid. It's fast. So that like they gotta move fast with it too. People gotta like. That's how I think. The way that's how I've acted. I think I talk from experience too a lot. If you're in my inner circle, a lot of the stuff that's even being said now, like, man, back, a lot of the stuff, the news you're gonna see, a lot of stuff leading up to the price we're seeing right now. We've been keeping on with it. It's very interesting, especially on my Saturday and Sunday calls. But we already knew that whales were accumulating ETH like heavy, so it's nice to see. It's nice to see when everything, especially in chaos and chaotic times, it's always, I've been here before. This isn't the first time. I remember when Bitcoin crashed. I remember the COVID crash. I remember when Bitcoin went to, or was it? I'm looking at ETH. I'm like, wrong chart. I remember this crash, for instance. This chaotic situation, and others too, not just that. Since then, that's just one thing that's happened since then, right? It feels similar. Everything leading up to this point, everything I've planned, it's all gone as planned. And it all feels very similar. Feels like the same song, what I've heard before. It's interesting. But I remember this. Think about like Bitcoin, the COVID crash. Price went from 10,000 to like 3,800. $6,000 movement. Price moves like $6,000 nowadays sometimes, and it's normal. It's getting more normal to have. The other day we were seeing $3,000 movements like back and forth. Just in here, like this is just here is this $5,000 move, $5,300 move. Stabilizing, maturing more. Cause I remember the COVID crash. Holy, think about it. That was just like wreckage at the time. Insane. I remember that experience. Now when I look back at it, and I consider that was a $6,600 movement at that time. Everything was just crazy. Like it was blood on the streets, fear, maximum fear everywhere. Bad headlines everywhere. Crazy times. Everything I've been experiencing the last couple months, I can relate to that, but it's different because now okay, so we had this in COVID, I remember, $6,000. Like a $6,000 move now doesn't do that, right? A $6,000 move might, if this were to dump 6,000 right now, it would cause like, oh my God, Bitcoin is crashing. Like people would panic a bit. But even like, it's impressive to see over the last couple of months how the price action has changed with this thing. Like it's even through this. Go back on my sessions because I'm talking the same way I was talking in March. Even in here, I was saying it's impressive to see how versus like the stock market and everything else, this is still in the 80s when it was there. having all this news, lovely news we're seeing. More. Notice how we're getting more and more and more like better news. Like it keeps picking up. At higher prices, GameStop bought today. One second, I'm ordering some food. There. Had to do that real quick. What someone say? I remember, but didn't. I mean, you gotta learn. So that's okay, cause think about it. Like, I'm already thinking of like, cause like opportunities. They're only gonna be so many in a year. That you're gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to learn over time how to act on with conviction. So I always think forward too. Like me and my business partner, best friend, we're having conversations of our trades a year from now, 2 years from now, because of the ones we just hit. You learn, you adapt, you navigate through things. You learn from these experiences, right? Like someone said that. I remember but didn't have any success. That's gonna happen. Like people always ask me, what are your biggest losses or what losses have you taken? I've taken big losses, but they've never impacted me in the way to be like, I can't bounce back and stuff. It's more of the biggest losses or the things that I regret the most are more like the opportunities that I knew I should have acted on but didn't act on fully. It's the things that I knew were there but didn't act on. Those are usually like the biggest losses. Losses are going to happen. Losses are going to come throughout the way. But it's usually the things that you know that are there that you don't act on. Those, to me, sting more than taking a loss, losing X amount, getting liquidated, hitting stop loss, blowing an account, whatever it may be. It's the things that I knew, the plays that I knew were there, the things that I knew were big, the things that I knew I should have acted on that are usually, especially in crypto. I mean, not necessarily gold trading, but when it comes down to like investments, making plays, big plays that through the year. Some of you guys should remember that. Some of you guys should, especially in Inner Circle, Saturday, Sunday calls. We're on YouTube live right now. Even on YouTube, I've talked a lot about Ethereum back in April. Like, I think every call I try to do some crypto updates. Don't be surprised. I always say on my calls, don't be surprised if a couple months from now we're talking about something and we're looking at what I said. Even Bitcoin is trading close to all-time highs, and Bitcoin keeps leaving exchanges. No selling pressure. People are just holding or taking like exchange. I think exchange reserves are pretty low on Bitcoin at the moment. The amount of Bitcoin on exchanges probably at an all-time low level right now. Yeah, like we're yeah, the amount of Bitcoin like on exchanges, so like Coinbase is an exchange, it hit a new all-time low. So when we talk about exchanges, an exchange, guys, is like Coinbase. Coinbase is an exchange. Something like Phantom Wallet, that's not an exchange. That's a decentralized platform. Coinbase is a centralized exchange. You have decentralized and you have centralized. Something like a Phantom Wallet, that's your decentralized. There's different wallets and stuff like that. Trust wallets, Ledger. So this means less selling. If it's off exchange, like less selling pressure. More people are holding less Bitcoin to buy as well for people. So you got to think of these big purchases. GameStop, for instance, I think I posted it. you got to think of like this morning. What company, a company that a lot of us might have bought in a video game from in the past or recent, GameStop. In Canada, we had it. It was called EB Games. We're in EB Games, you know, GameStop. So GameStop bought how much Bitcoin this morning? 4,000 Bitcoin. So you got to think there's less Bitcoin on exchanges. GameStop this morning bought 4,000 some odd Bitcoin. I just reposted it. $4,710 Bitcoin. Now let's talk about exchanges. Bitcoin exchanges reserve hit all-time low. So companies like GameStop are buying Bitcoin faster than it's mined as well. There's these large amounts being bought by companies, maybe with the intention to hold it like a reserve, kind of like look at El Salvador. Go look at El Salvador, what they did. Now El Salvador, I think they still buy 1 Bitcoin a day, if I'm not mistaken. I think El Salvador buys 5 Bitcoin a week or 7 Bitcoin every week. They buy 1 a week, 1 a day through the week, or they might buy different chunks at different prices. But El Salvador has a reserve of Bitcoin that they accumulate more. El Salvador's bought Bitcoin, but they keep buying, and it's their reserve. They want to just hold it. Companies in the States, in America, we call it. So what is this called? What is this called? What do we call this? Anyone know? I want to see if anyone knows what I'm going to say. What do we call this? Let's see if anyone knows. What do me and my buddies call this? I want to see what if you guys know what I'm going to say. What do we call this? Companies like GameStop are doing this now. What's this called? This is called the MicroStrategy effect. All right. Elon Musk officially leaves the Trump administration. There we go. He needs to go focus on Tesla. He just needs to go focus on Tesla, you know? That guy needs to just focus on his cars and his rocket ships. That's all. That's good. Good stuff. That's good. Yeah, Elon Musk. A lot of bold price predictions. I just went downstairs and someone was like, by end of the year, 200,000. A Bitcoin guy I know downstairs. This is called the MicroStrategy effect. All right. Oh, dog, I'll go to the window. All right. I'll go to that window. This right here is called the MicroStrategy effect. I got a little dog here. I don't want to go in out the window. I'm trying to fucking jump out the window. That would be. So the one thing that's gonna keep people out of Bitcoin is the price. But you never know. Like owning 10% of one in the future, you might be like, if you own one right now, if you own one. And you go walk around your city, you go talk to people every week, every month, and ask them if they own 1 Bitcoin or how much Bitcoin they own. You'll see you're ahead of the world if you own one. You're way ahead of like the majority, the large majority. So you never know. Like I've gotten where I am kind of thinking like that, of taking conviction on things with that level of thinking. Like I never know 10 years from now. I never know 5 years from now. Look what's happening here. Take dog. I was that freaking little window, you know. He could, yeah, that little. That was. Woof woof. So you got companies. You might be afraid to accumulate at the current prices. Let's say you're looking at the current price, like, oh my gosh, I can't buy 1 Bitcoin here. But obviously, company like GameStop can. Look at GameStop this morning. So in terms of like making decisions, when we're buying something, we know it's valuable, and we know other companies are buying it, countries are buying it. Michael Saylor said you want to buy the thing that eventually everyone will rush to in the future. Well, people are rushing to it like now. That's the thing. Yeah, Sailor Metaplanet. Look into Metaplanet. There's other companies now. Now Ethereum, like, man, Ethereum just got, like the what's it called? What's that company called that just is gonna make a reserve for Ethereum now? Bitcoin dominance is dropping, so that's good for ETH. Bitcoin dominance dropping means ETH. What's that company called? Starlink or something? SharpLink. So the company called SharpLink. I don't know this company, but they're on the NASDAQ. SharpLink Gaming Incorporated. Apparently, kind of like a micro strategy for Ethereum is what I've seen people saying. Kind of like, and their stock, look at their stock. Wait, what? Bro, their stock, wait. Their stock went up 472%. No way. So it's SharpLink Gaming. But they're using, so like they're apparently, apparently, you know, you guys ever see that kid that goes, apparently? That's what I sound like when I say apparently. SharpLink Gaming, which is a company on the NASDAQ, announced that it's entered into securities purchase agreement for private investment in public equity for the purchase and sale. So they're selling 69 million shares of common stock, the equivalent of $425 million. Do I see Ondo there? What is that? Ondo? What's that? Is that Ondo? What is that? That's not Ondo, is it? No. Oh, Galaxy Digital. These are just other companies. Is that Ondo? Closing offer is expected to occur May 29th. So that's tomorrow, Thursday. The company intends to use the funds to acquire the native cryptocurrency of the Ethereum blockchain, commonly referred to as ETH, pending identification of working capital needs and other general corporate purchases. ETH will serve as the company's primary treasury. This is a big company. How much of their stocks did they sell off? Their shares went up though. Look, because they private investment in public equity for the purchase and sale of 69,113 shares of common stock or common stock equivalent at the price of $6.15. Now, that is the closing offer for this private investment in public equity is tomorrow. And you can see here, the company intends to use the funds to acquire the native cryptocurrency. That's, bro, that's big for ETH. That's pretty big. Let's see what happens, referred to as ETH. And you can see the effect though. That's interesting is their stock went from look at what it says here. So for the purchase and sale of at the price of $6.15 per share. Look at their stock now. Their stock went, well, this was today. Well, yesterday. I don't know what it's at today. We can look at it. Let's go SharpLink Gaming. You saw what happened with MicroStrategy, how a lot of companies, there they are right there. SBET, NASDAQ, their top company, $29 a share. They pumped up to $54 after this news. And it doesn't, I don't know if the ETH, from what this says, the ETH has not been acquired yet, because it does say again the closing offer. The closing of the offer is on May 29th. Which company's next? Look what it did. You know how much you know how much. Think about this for a second. I did not know what SharpLink Gaming was until today. Evan Cabral, I did not know what this was until today. I don't know what SharpLink Gaming is. I've never looked into it. I never heard of it before. Guess what? Today I know what it is. That's the crypto effect right there. That is the crypto effect. Today I know what SharpLink Gaming is. Okay? So think about when we say which company's next. That's why we say it. Which company is going to adopt crypto first, so they can even have more eyes on their company, right? Now I know what I might look into SharpLink Gaming now and see what they're about, right? Maybe it's the next micro strategy, but well, one of the first that's taking on ETH. The micro strategy effect. But yeah, guys, that's today's news. Did this order? Where's the food? I ordered some food tonight. We're gonna be on for New York session. Not looking for a trade tonight. Gonna wait for New York tomorrow to see how we're looking in the morning. Maybe end of the week reversals. Right now, I think right now fully locked in crypto, because I know by the end of the year. Call me optimistic, but. We need an alt season. So yeah, real quick, this Friday, a lot of news we went over. Look into this. A lot of stuff you can look into and see what's going on. And then you can, once you look into that stuff, you peel underneath and you'll find more news to just even. Inside of doing that, when I do this type of research, this is how I find coins and other research on coins. This is when I do this type of stuff. This is where I'll find yeah, Sui. Yeah, oh yeah, literally when this thing was down here, everyone was calling for, yeah. Every single time this thing's dropped, people have called for lower, 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 lower every time it drops. Hang on. What did this guy say? Who's this? This is Eric Trump. I'm gonna wrap it up though, guys,
all over the
for
world.
the night.
Don and I travel hundreds of thousands of miles a year. I'm telling you right now, everybody in the world wants Bitcoin. I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're, royal families. I don't care if you're the biggest, financial institutions. Everybody wants Bitcoin. Everybody is buying Bitcoin. If you go back 12 months, there were probably less than 100 companies that were treasuring Bitcoin that really had any. And now every single day, it's another sovereign wealth fund. Look what GameStop just did. Look what Truth Social did. Every single day, people are allocating billions and billions of dollars to it. 0.1 Bitcoin is going to be worth an absolute fortune. And, look at the OTCs. The OTCs have the least amount of Bitcoin ever on their books, right? I mean, the arrow's going straight down as the price of Bitcoin is going straight up. I've got a dear friend. He spoke on the stage before, Simon from Metaplan, and I asked him, what's the hardest problem? And he goes, honestly, we're running out of Bitcoin. It's hard to find on the exchanges. I mean, guys, everybody wants it. No one wants to get rid of it. Everybody wants it as a balance sheet item. Every family, and this isn't America. This is the entire Middle East. This is Africa. This is all of Asia. This is Fortune 500. I mean, this is the biggest private offices. Everybody wants it to buy House Satoshi.
Yeah, we know. Yeah. I mean, if he has to tell you, there, you heard it from him. There you go. We know that. Teach me. I already know. I've heard enough. I've been here 10 years now, so it's for me it's the same stuff, hear the same stuff. So when I see news like this stuff gets me excited. Like this stuff, you know, companies like this, or you know, him hearing that does, like, when I see this type of stuff, open interest hits all-time high, reserves on exchanges are low, Meta, this, GameStop. When I see stuff like this, that's the stuff that gets me excited, is the kind of research news like this. Hearing this, yeah, same, we know. Chainlink 16. I need H bar to go up, fam. Keep an eye on H bar. I just reposted some. I think I just reposted. I swear I just reposted something about H bar. Did I not? Oh, I passed it. Oh yeah. That's not what I wanted to post. That's not it. And I'll. But yeah, we're gonna roll out. Gonna call it a night. Let's check gold before we wrap it up. I'm waiting on probably New York session or lower. Nah, market. I would have loved to have got it at 23.50. I want to see if price can come back down, to be honest. Retest the wicks. Probably gonna get like an end of the week reversal though. My market's been dropping all week. You came to a nice area on gold on the 4-hour. Here. I think probably an end of the week reversal. This thing just broke up, made a high. I'd still wait for pullbacks on this thing to retest 23.50 area. See if it could come down to 23.50. Seems far, but you know the way gold moves. By Friday, it could do that for sure. Or even tomorrow morning. I just took out this high here on the 5-minute. So it'd be good to see. Wouldn't want to buy it here. Would want it to come down. This 4-hour could close bullish. That's fine. It could be maybe looking for entries on the next 4-hour if this 4-hour closes bullish. I'd like to see if it could come back down, retest 23.50 area. 32.50, sorry. Price already made a move, so you wouldn't want to buy it here. You'd want to let it next candle retrace, come down. Like I said, probably end of the week reversals. What's XRP doing? Still in this daily area. Yeah, the coins that really are XRP hasn't been doing much. I think it will soon. Like Solana's been moving nice. ETH, Bitcoin. XRP had like a big pump this year. Remember that? Like it already moved. So spending a lot of time in here chopping around. On the daily, I think this thing, if it holds this daily zone here that we broke out of, 225, 230. Like on the daily, it doesn't look bad, but there's probably going to be a swing up soon. Like everything else is moving stronger. Bitcoin's strong, ETH strong. Solana's even having a nicer movement. This has had small price fluctuations up, down. I think if this daily area holds on XRP, you could get a move up. Yeah, gold, you'd have to keep an eye on, like, for pullbacks on probably the next candle. 32.50, 32.25. See how the market, see if those are areas where price can react. We already got a reaction off of 32.50. Rejection, no confirmation yet. This candle could close bullish, and that would be more of a confirmation. So you could potentially find entries on the next candle if this candle closes bullish on gold. If the next candle if this candle closes bullish and the next candle starts pulling back, wicking back, then potentially entries on the next candle if this one closes bullish. It's at a good zone where possibly a break and retest. You have to wait. You have to wait. Watch for a pullback on the next candle. This wouldn't be an entry. It already moved. This candle's green. This wouldn't be an entry. This candle again could close green. If it closes green, potentially the next candle could pull back and find an entry closer to 3250. 3250, 3255. If you can pull back to the wick on the next candle, that would be, because this one's moved already significantly. So if this one closes, again, it's all about what I said for step by step. If this one closes bullish, then possibly pull back on the next candle in the wick. That's where I would look for entries if this one closes bullish only. 3250, 3255 area. If it's able to come back down on the wick, next candlestick. Silver had a big, silver's been going up. Silver's been trading somewhat decent. Yeah, you'd want pullbacks on gold. You wouldn't want to buy here. It's not a buy entry. If anything, entries were down here when it first came to 3250. 1, 2. Maybe you could have, when it was first there, here, or even in here, right? You had 1, 2, 3 possible entries around there. So wait for it to come back, if anything, and see if it reacts again. Wait for it to come back in that area. If anything, you have 3225 as well. But I'm going to wrap it up for the night. We'll be on in the morning, guys. That's it for me. Trading 2020. Perfect. I'll see everybody next session. Keep an eye on ETH. ETH just broke out of a pretty much a bullish flag, we could say. Yeah, we just broke out of a bullish flag on ETH. If you know what that is, bullish flag pattern. You can see there that high. Ooh, that high we need to get above here. If we can get above there on ETH, that'd be nice. If we can get above there. It just broke out of a bull flag, a bullish flag, right? We can see nice little breakout just occurred actually on Ethereum. Could stabilize and try to hold that breakout. That would be, in a perfect world, what we want. 2800's right nearby, so that 2800's resistance we can see there. 2800's have some resistance on ETH, so it's going to take some pressure, some time to get through there. It just made a move up. Yeah, we just broke out of a good, this thing for the last couple of weeks been kind of sideways here, and we just broke up, bullish flag. There could be pullbacks. To me, it looks like it wants to trade higher. I think to me, it looks like this wants to go higher, like it wants to break out higher. We just broke out of this bull flag, so that's a good sign. If we can stay long term and stay bullish, that's good. We need to get above 2800 though. It needs some pressure. There's been a lot of positive news. I don't think it needs more positive news. It's just a matter of time. 3000 maybe on the way. What do we got here? Yeah, right here we got that threshold. Yeah, we can see historically. It's exploded through this price a lot of times. It's just ripped through as well when it's been bullish towards it. Yeah, bull flag just broke out. Bullish flag pattern. That's a bull flag. That may keep trying to increase. We need that. We need that. The more ETH goes up, the more it triggers alts to go up too. Like if you're holding bags of altcoins, that is what you want. You want Ethereum to go to 3,000, 3,200, 4,000 this year. That'll bring your alts back to like a good recovery. Not an alt season, but like a really good recovery. I wouldn't say an alt season. Say if like you can get Ethereum back above $3,000, that gives your alts a really good recovery. Some of them, some better than others. Like that's the thing. There's so many cryptos that some are going to outperform others at times of the year, certain times. Yeah, we'll be on in the morning. I'll see everybody tomorrow morning. What's dog with hat at? 115. Even dog with hat looks like a bull flag starting. Dog with hat. If you like, well, Solana goes up. Remember, Solana does good this year. That coin will do good. If there's a meme season, dog with hat's gonna rip it. But yeah, guys, I'm out. Pepe is, that's on Ethereum. Pepe's on Ethereum. So look at Pepe, for instance, right now. Ethereum pumping, Pepe pumping even more. Pepe's on Ethereum. Pepe's up 7%, whereas Ethereum's up like 3%. 2.8, 2.9%. Pepe's up 6.7%. 6.8, almost 7. You can see it's ripping up right now. That's on Ethereum, so it's like Solana with dog with hat, for those of you guys that know. But yeah, I'm out. We'll be on in the morning, guys. Peace out. I'll see if there's any quick questions in the chat. Dog with hat, Solana, we'll pump that. Yeah, you gotta keep it. You gotta let gold come down a bit tonight. It had a good react. You gotta. There's no entry here. We don't have an entry here. If anything, probably tomorrow morning. Like New York session is where the buys have usually come. So we'll even see where it is New York. I'm thinking end of the week reversal though for gold. If we can come back down to these wicks on the next candle, especially if this one closes bullish, it would be good to look for buy setups. 4 hour looks like it's gonna reject. Yeah, but you need 4 hour bullish. Next candle to come down and test 3250. We're here for it. But yeah, I'm out, guys. Following this policy, cute dog. Dog's name? Maybe Friday reversal. The dog's name's Chai. Where's the dog? Alright, I'm out, guys. Maybe Friday reversals. New York. We'd have to wait. If we're waiting for buys, like the buys have usually come New York session. New York buys. Even this morning, stuck for a little bit. New York buys. The only buys have really been coming into New York. Today it was coming into New York. Right now, or the quarters, you can see 3250 tapped. If it goes down to 3225, that's the next quarter. Like it already moved off of this. We'd have to wait for it to pull back to look for a move up. We have to wait for a good pullback. Watch ETH if anything. ETH's breaking out. Watch ETH. Watch Bitcoin. They might be rolling out the strategic reserves soon. That's one of the last things they said they're gonna work on. Go look at what she's saying. Where is she at? Her. We already played the video. We went over a lot of crypto news because in the last 48 hours, there's been a lot. There's so much more I didn't even go over. We'll probably talk about more end of the week on Friday and then this weekend in Inner Circle. But yeah, I'm out, guys. Peace out, peace out, peace out. Stay up with this news. Pay attention. Something's coming soon. Something's coming this year. Either sooner or later. If it's sooner, it's literally in the next couple months. Later would be towards the end of the year. But either way, this year something's coming. I'll see everybody next session. Peace out, peace out, peace, peace. In the morning, I'll be back live, New York session, 9 a.m.